the next thing we're going to do is to take the pattern of our leaf that we have and take our wax paper, shiny side down. We want to draw on the paper side. We're going to trace the leaf onto the wax paper. Just roughly. It doesn't have to be artist perfect. Just make it where you can see it. So we've got our first leaf. Now I'm going to trace the second leaf. And if you do these together, pretty close together, you won't waste as much fabric. So now I'm going to trace this one. And if you can get your pattern above something that's really white, where it really shines, you can see better. I just added a little stem on mine. So I have both of my leaves now. And we're going to iron this onto our fabric. So we'll get ready to do that next. I have my leaf on my wax paper and I've trimmed it down a little bit. I'm going to put it sort of toward the edge so I don't waste a whole lot. I think I'll come on this edge. Do it right here. There we go. Now I'm going to iron it. I've got it on about a silk setting until it sticks. And I don't use mine a lot, so I really want it to stick good. I don't do a lot of applique. Now it's going to stick on there. I'm going to do the other leaf on the red material, and then we'll cut them out and go to the next step. Remember when you iron your leaf down onto your fabric to iron the shiny side to the fabric. The dull side that you drew on should be on the top. You should be able to see the lines that you drew. Get it stuck down real good, and I'm going to trim it off just so I can handle it a little better. And then we'll cut these out. I have my first leaf, and I have some scissors that are pretty sharp. These are not my best ones, but I'm going to use these today. I am going to trim right against the outside of that line. Because remember, we've made no lines on our fabric, so we don't have to worry about anything not coming out. If you want to round some of these out, you can. It's your leaf. You can do what you want with it. If you want pointy leaves or rounded leaves. Also, you can go out in the fall of the year and actually get leaves and come in and trace around them. That's really interesting because you get a lot better variety that way. And I'm just talking and not keeping my hands where you can see them. I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm almost done. Like I said, don't stress over this. This is not, you're not an engineer. You're a quilter. So we have our first leaf. I'll cut the other one out, and then we're ready for the next step. I have my two leaves cut out now. One is green and one is red. The wax paper is on the good side of the fabric. Now, if you leave the wax paper on for this next step, you must remove it while it's still warm. If it comes off, don't worry about it. You can still do the next step. Okay, this next step's fun. We're going to take this liquid stitch I told you about. And we're going to just put a light edging of it, and I believe it's got some old on it. Let me get that off. Light edging just around the edge. We're going to put this to fuse the edges. Remember, this is raw edges we're talking about. Just sort of paint it on. Just a little bit. And there are some tips you can buy for this that even put a thinner coat. But I'm going to turn this one into a placemat, so I'm not so much worried. If it was a quilt that I wanted to be soft and pliable, more soft and pliable than this will be, I would use the thinner tip. I don't have it handy right now. Go all the way around it. Now, if this is something really long or something cumbersome, you can position it and do part of it, and glue that down, and do some more of it. So you don't want to do a huge thing like this. Okay, we have it all around the edges. Now, I'm going to position my leaf about in the center here. And then, because I love my iron, I'm going to take a pressing cloth and put over it, and I'm going to set this in with heat. Just dry it in there. You're fusing it into all the edges of this leaf so that it will never come off and it will never fray. Once I get it initially done, I'll take my iron and put directly on it. But we want to completely dry it. And while it's warm, see if I can get this to come up, since I've told you that. Peel this off. Now, another thing your starching did made this come off really easy. So now we have our first leaf. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, these other leaves I did earlier, and the paper's already fallen off of it. But I can do the same thing with these leaves. I always start with the stem because that's the most aggravating part of these little ones. And then come around the edge. Only do the edges. You don't need to do the center. The edges are the only part that will ravel. Come around the other side. And I cannot take credit for this method. I found it on YouTube. So look on YouTube if you need to know anything. Now, I'm going to put these up at the corners. Put my pressing cloth over it. Heat it until I know it's pretty much set. And then I'll take my pressing cloth off and finish it off. Now, these are not going to go anywhere. They'll be here for when I get ready to go around them. So I'll finish this and then get back with you. I have my 2 placemats ready now. I'm going to trim them up and put some borders around them eventually and bind them and have placemats. Remember, you have your 2 patterns that you can use over and over. If they don't have enough wax on them, you can put a little basting spray on there and cut out with that. We're ready to do our decorative stitching next.